Welcome to a new episode of Reece's Reviews. My name is Matt, and, well, Reece is not with me at the moment, but this is another very special mini episode where we're basing this episode purely on the movie Tron Ares, the third installment into the Tron franchise from Disney. Now, Reece is currently overseas in the US with his mate Stuart and his lovely wife, and I'm in Sydney, and I went and saw this movie with my younger brother Peter. Now, I saw this at the preview screening a day before everyone else at the IMAX in Sydney, and yeah, so we are going to do a review on this. I nearly gave it away, so Matt, it's over to you. It's Matt reporting in front of the IMAX Sydney Darling Harbour. I'm not used to this. I'm usually the one who's producing, editing and doing everything else. So Reece, don't worry, your job is not taken. Now I am with brother Peter here, and say hi.
Hey.
Cool. And we are about to see Tron Ares, or Arse, as I like to call it. If I was dyslexic, I would call it Torn Arse. Anyway, so we're seeing an advanced screening at the IMAX. It's been filmed for IMAX, so we get to see it in glorious IMAX. What are you expecting from this movie, Peter?
Oh, that's asking a big question there.
Okay, then we'll move on then, while you think about that. Jarrett, as I stated with Reece in a conversation in a previous episode of the Reece's Reviews podcast from ygeekculture.com.au, is that Jared Leto tends to be the kiss of death when it comes to blockbuster movies.
I've never really seen him that way though. Stuff I've seen him in, I've actually enjoyed. So to be honest, I don't know what. I'm not dismissive of other opinions, but I have no idea what all that criticism is about, to be honest.
Well, that criticism's mainly me.
No, but other people online do say that, but it's just I don't understand the criticism. What I've seen him in, I've enjoyed.
All right. Well, big fan of the original, and a fan of Legacy, the sequel, which did pretty good to bring it up to modern standards, and now this one's just come out of nowhere.
Very modern standards.
Yeah. Very modern now. And even Flynn has returned. That is Jeff Bridges.
And I'm keen to see if there's anything about Sam.
Yeah.
And Cora.
I'm going to leave it an open mind. I don't think Sam's going to be part of it. Probably be mentioned, but that'll be it. But, yeah.
So well, hopefully, what's he, Tron himself, or Bruce, or the actor name? What's his name? Alan. Alan. I've drawn
Bruce,
a blank on his.
Yeah,
I've drawn a blank on his last name. But
anyway, we're in line. We're about to go in. So
Alan 1. Well, that was the original user.
Cool. Bruce Boxletter.
Yeah, I know that's the actor. Yeah, but I was just trying to think. I couldn't remember the character's last name.
You got to go check your things. All right, we're in the cinema now. Looks like it's a bit of a 3/4 of a house. Probably more. And we've got our glow wristbands, we've got snacks, we've got popcorn and drinks that we got for free. Hooray. And we're sitting down the front, back, or the side, front, back. So we're down the bottom of the back of the, which is the front. Not to be confused with the front. So yeah.
People's fun to do here, not to be...
No Monty Python.
Okay.
So we'll report back to how the movie is. All right, over and out. Okay, we've just left the IMAX cinema after watching Tron Ares, the third installment to the Tron movie series, not including the TV series, the animated series.
Yeah.
But what did you think?
Yeah, it's what we needed. It was what was sorely needed. Notable absences of Tron Alan 1. I've forgotten the character's last name, but Bruce lost her, basically. And also, I'd say maybe, a little bit more on the obscure side, Dan Shaw. I can't remember if that's the actor's name or the character's name. I think it's the actor's name.
So what did you think of comparing it?
The moment that hit for me was when Ares made it onto the original grid.
Cool. Oh, spoiler alert.
Well, that is not what this is about.
That's fine.
Yeah. Like when he smashed through onto the wall, onto the floor of the original grid, cool. I was like, wow. I was like, oh, they did. I was like, they did it. They replicated everything. Yeah. It's just like,
what do you mean replicated? It's always been there. Anyway, but if you're going to watch this movie, you'll need to watch the first film as a refresher. And then you just have to remember the second one.
Like, it helps piece. This one definitely helps piece things together. Like, it makes the first one relevant, more so than Legacy. Like, they're all connected. They're all definitely connected, but it really brings the original back. And
Yep. And it was good. It was more action than sci-fi. Yeah. Pretty good action too. And it was very enjoyable. So,
and I'd say it's the perfect length. It was not rushed.
No, it was well paced.
Drawn out.
If you're going to see it on the biggest screen possible. IMAX. We saw it in IMAX, and it was extremely immersive.
Yeah.
So, other than that,
and also. This is this is probably going to have some contrasting opinions, but Jared Leto was good.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
He was good.
It was the first movie I've seen him that he's been tolerable. Okay.
So I don't.
He didn't give it the kiss of death.
Everyone's entitled to opinion, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. Whatever.
But Jared Leto was good.
Okay. Well,
he. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
All right. What do you give it out of 5 stars?
11. Well, actually, hold on. Is there a number reference?
01001111010.
Actually, well, yeah, probably. But I now need to work out the reference to 29.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Either way.
It's fairly arbitrary. There's got to be a reason. So I'm going to...
Yeah, hypothetically.
All right, 29 out of 5 then.
Oh, you're an idiot. I give it a 4 out of 5.
You've probably heard the two legends of Matthew and Pete on their thoughts and opinions about this awesome movie. And here comes mine with a special guest as well who's been on this podcast before. We are talking about Tron Ares, the new film from Disney Studios starring Jared Leto. Now, going into this film, I don't know what I was expecting as much. I wanted to have spectacle. I wanted to have the sound design and the soundtrack to be epic, and I wanted to at least have a decent story to kind of be superior to other installments. Now this is now an official franchise. We've officially got a trilogy for Tron, which I don't think over the years we think we would get another Tron movie because how badly Legacy did, and then going forward from there. But they thought to have another go at it. Hopefully they can get a new audience for it, so we'll just see how this goes at the box office. But I wanted to at least walk out having an experience, being thrown back into the digital world of the grid and just seeing what they can give us. Now, I say that they delivered 100% on one of these things. The spectacle, the entertainment value, the fun of a blockbuster film in the grid, they delivered. Like the CGI and the computer graphics were done very beautifully. You definitely got swept up in it. The sound design. Now, I saw this and the special guest who's about to be introduced on IMAX, and it definitely was worth seeing on this screen. The ratio changes, the sound mixing, the editing was definitely done beautifully. You really got immersed in the world that was Tron. I really enjoyed getting just swept up into that. Now, talking about story, the story wasn't strong. It was very basic, very generic, very much similar to Legacy, where the story wasn't very strong and it really relied on the amazement of the CGI and the computer graphics and that immersiveness and the sound and the soundtrack. Now, They switched up from Legacy with Daft Punk, and then they brought in 9 Inch Nails for this one. Personally, yes, the sound design and the soundtrack was definitely immersiveness. I didn't see too much like a massive big thing that stood out to me with 9 Inch Nails' soundtrack. I didn't think it did a big thing for it, but it definitely had that style of what you expect from a Tron soundtrack. It definitely felt that digital age style, how they wanted to do it. So I definitely commend them for that. And it ended on their titular song in the end credits. And speaking of end credits, if anyone who's going to be watching this film is or interested or has some interest in the original, stay around. There is a mid-credits scene, so check that out. I'm not going to say anything all because this is a non-spoiler review. Now, I've talked about it a little bit now for a couple of minutes now, but I want to bring in my partner in crime who saw this film with me. This is Stuart Liddell. We brought him in back when we brought on Superman. We talked about review of Superman. Now, Stuart, you are pretty much a Tron fanatic. You're a fan. You've grown up on Tron. You loved the first one. You actually quite enjoyed the second one. I think the one thing everyone could agree on with Legacy is that the Daft Punk soundtrack was bloody amazing and epic. But everyone kind of all agreed that the story wasn't great. It was very generic. The story wasn't great. It wasn't a great movie, but the soundtrack, everyone agreed, was absolutely incredible. So I want to get your 2 cents on the film, what you think of it. What did you think of the story, the characters, and what did you think of 9 Inch Nails' soundtrack?
Okay, well, first of all, I will say that, look, Tron Legacy had the ups on this one based on the story, because it was a bit more of a familial way. I agreed with you. Yes, the story is only like a 2.5 to a 3 with this one out of 5. Because it's a story, it's a movie. This movie 100% wins with its visuals and its soundtrack. I definitely got notes that 9 Inch Nails, in my opinion, I like to look at it that they were inspired by Daft Punk and have taken what Daft Punk brought us in 2010 and then just expanded that even more for the 2025 audiences. Fears going into this was, finding out Jared Leto was headlining this film, and I think, oh shit, hashtag Morbius, hashtag a couple of other films, and you've heard the stories and you've seen the way he's acted, but it was good to see that he was just playing a character. Didn't seem like there was this extra, hogwashy type stuff where it was like an all about me type scenario. Other characters, star-studded guest stars and supporting cast also assisted with dominating their own characters and stuff like that throughout the film. Gillian Anderson and
see, that's one thing I would think. Like, I think personally, Gillian Anderson was wasted. Like, she had nothing to do with the main plot. Like, she was just there for the sake of being there. Like, Evan Peters was the villain of the story.
Look,
and she was just there just to bounce off him. And I didn't think, like, if you took her out of it, nothing of the story will change.
I suppose you wouldn't miss her, but one thing I will say of Evan Peters' portrayal, having seen all these different portrayals of many different character arcs throughout
American Horror Story,
his portrayal, in my opinion, did David Warner justice from the original Tron. That's all I'll say there.
Because this is no spoiler, because the character he's an ancestor of one of the main villains of the original.
He's a grandson. He's a grandson of Edward Dillinger from the first Tron.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll say about this movie is similar to the way Legacy did it. This movie pays homage to both of the last 2 Tron movies. The original Tron Legacy, aspects of both. Again, this is a spoiler-free podcast, so as much as I'm itching and gagging to tell you about
what we can do, because one thing I did get from the film, especially watching your reaction, there was a certain sequence that happens towards leading into the second act of the film, about to go into the third act. There's a sequence that happens that very much pays homage to the original.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So anyone who's a fan of the original will probably get the same reaction that you did.
Yeah, the second act into the third, and it's like, ooh, okay, we're going to say it. We're going to use the Family Guy trope. We're going to go, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Hashtag James Woods. No, he's not in the film. But again, you go, I know that bit, and 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 it's just like, oh my god, this is brilliant. And so, yeah, for me, biggest fan of the first one, and then the again continuing with Legacy. Yeah, look, visually, cinema shots, music. This film brought it for me. Again, story. What else are you going to pump out of something like this, especially if you're not bringing back huge character arcs from the first two? It was just a movie based within the Tron universe. You know, I mean, if you didn't put Tron in the name, you wouldn't think twice about it. They used Tron as part of the what was the word you were using before? They used Tron as the marketing plot.
Marketing plot, yeah.
Apart from that, you know. Yeah, as we all know how Tron Legacy ends, sorry, spoilers here, it was 15 years ago. Tron's no longer around. Again, the idea of utilising the term Tron was to bring back the audiences for another film based on...
In the universe of Tron.
Of the grids and the programs and all that stuff.
Tron is the main program in the first one, but at the same time, when you think about Legacy, he's actually not a titular character in it. He kind of...
Hashtag Rensler.
Yeah, but the thing, Tron's not a major figure in the second Tron.
No, but at least he's still in it.
Not as
Alan Brady.
Only in the first act.
Yes. Yeah, Alan's primarily in the first act. You see him near the end. But, yes, Tron you then see a little bit in the second act, and then as Rensler becomes Tron again as he then fades
But
away.
it's not a major point.
No,
so
but at least he's in it.
Yes, but I think with this one, you're using the word Tron because that is the recognisable of IP. Yeah. But then you've also got, it is in the universe that it is Tron. So you have Jeff Bridges' character's Flynn, and then you've got, it tells you all the stories, definitely brings in story points from the first two. So, but what did you think of Nine Inch Nails' interpretation of the soundtrack?
Well, look, you're probably going to shoot me for this. If you were to say to me, what's your favourite Nine Inch Nails track? I'd go, For me...
I don't know much about Nine Inch Nails. I know the people from like what it's on radio and things like that, but I'm not an avid Nine Inch Nails kind of thing.
No. And so when it was announced, oh my god, Nine Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack for Tron Ares, I'm like, okay, it sounds cool. I can't wait to see what they have, but I'm not going to exactly become...
I know when they first announced it, there was rumours that Muse was going to do the soundtrack.
Now that would have had me jaw-dropping.
Yeah, so I heard that and
yes.
I went, that would have been epic. Where they do their techno rock, but which I would have think their sound definitely leans into Tron's universe. But Nine Inch Nails, I think they did.
What Nine did, that was, in my opinion, they did the best of both worlds. They brought in not only a digitised style similarly to the way Daft Punk did 15 years ago, but there was also a rock element to it as well, which also helped to assist, I guess you could say, pumping up the beat and the level of excitement and, thriller that you felt as the scenes. I mean, fine, were the scenes predictable? Absolutely. You knew what was going to happen. But with the visual effects and the spectacle of the scenes and how they were brought to life, the music related well and balanced well with the visual styles of the storytelling.
Yeah. Okay.
And for that reason, I give it a 3.5 personally.
Okay.
It was a 4 for visuals and music, but only a 2.8 to 3 for story. But again, it's a third one in the film series. There's only so much you can do with the storyline when you're not bringing back your main baseline characters again from the first two.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah...
And that's not a spoiler alert because the trailer shows it.
Yeah. I personally think, I think I'm a solid 3 on this. I think it definitely gets a thumbs up. If I wouldn't be, racing to go see it again, but at the same time, I could see myself enjoying it. But I also think we were kind of spoiled because of the kind of cinema experience we had.
It was the end of our first week in New York. We had to see a film, not only at the American movie chain, but the chance to go and see it in IMAX. Reece, you and I saw Legacy. at Sydney IMAX back when it was the biggest screen in the world 15 years ago. And for us, watching Legacy with the aspect ratio changes and everything like that, it was a visual stunning masterpiece. So being able to see the third film 15 years later again, fine, it wasn't as big of a screen, but we still got to experience again in the IMAX environment, and I think that assisted. If we'd seen this in a standard basic $14 Australian cinema, we may not have gotten thrills as much as we did tonight.
And I think that's where my thing comes from. Like, I think we're very spoiled when it comes to the experience that we had with IMAX, because here in when you got the kind of American style of cinema, you've got IMAX surround sound, you got the Dolby Atmos, and you've definitely got the ratio changes and all that kind of stuff. We're very much spoiled, and so I think if you would go see this back in Australia, I am very disheartened to say that a lot cinemas in Australia really need a wake up call to rival. Like, America is 4, 5, 10 steps ahead when it comes to the movie going experience and the technology they have for their cinemas, because this, like, one experience like this, you could feel the vibrations and the sound and the mixing was done on a whole other level, and we don't get that. Even like went to saw Superman in IMAX Sydney, and this shat all over it, and this experience was absolutely incredible. I'm just thinking, like, all these films I've seen in the past, how much more of an experience I would have had if I had this sound mixing.
Well, last time I felt like I had a really good experience like this, seeing Superman back in July, sorry, I might be getting my months mixed up, was when a couple of years ago or so we saw Godzilla X Kong in that peripheral vision
Screen X.
Yeah, Screen X out at an event at Campbelltown. Now, because of the whole peripheral vision side view, 270 degree, experience, that kicked the crap out of 3D. Sorry, Avatar. But yeah, that was almost like that new 3D style environment. That's the thing. Australia's got that. It's got its 40X. And it's got IMAX in Sydney, and then some other slightly expanded cinemas. Yeah. Apart from that,
but I think where they
Australia is lagging behind in the cinema experience viewing wise.
And sound.
Although I will say personally, after tasting it tonight, our popcorn does stand up a little better throughout the length.
Oh yeah, that's just a candy thing. That's nothing to do with that stuff. But I think it's, when it comes to Australia, like, we need to upgrade our screens, because you can definitely felt like I definitely saw clear picture tonight. And even when I saw Superman in IMAX, I definitely didn't see clear picture for a lot of that time.
It wasn't as sharp and crisp for you.
No, it wasn't like full 4K or massive big clear resolution. And then the sound mixing and the sound and the surround sound wasn't as crisp as it was tonight. And just like, I'm going to go back to Australia and I'm just going to start comparing everything to America, and it's going to take us years to even get to this level. So, but we'll probably drag on a little bit. But I would, like I said, I give this film a solid 3. Don't know if I'm leaning 3.5 like yourself, but I'm kind of going a solid 3 to definitely a thumbs up for me. I enjoyed the film. It's a great watch, a great continuation of the Tron legacy.
It's a good popcorn flick.
It's a good thing. It's a popcorn flick. There's no brain power that needs to be had when it comes to this film. No. If you haven't seen the other two, you could still watch this one and still enjoy it. It doesn't give you too much of a homework that you need to do. But if you have seen the other two, you definitely will be
You will be rewarded.
You will be
so rewarded. Like, I recently watched the first two a couple of weeks ago before I knew I was going to be watching it over here, just to redo it. And then I'm going, as I said, hashtag ooh piece of candy, and it's like, okay, anyone like citrus, anyone like specific characters from the original one, again, spoiler free review, but you will notice it and you'll go ha ha ooh ha ha ooh ha ha, and again, you're going to get that thrill. And if you do see this without seeing the first two, then go and watch Ares, go back and watch the original and Legacy, and you will then be able to go, I saw that, and I referenced that, and I bet that, and I bet that. And then if you then go and see Ares again, you go, oh, that's right, and also there's other bits and stuff. Yeah. So they do pay homage to the first two really well. Yeah. And I was really happy about that.
Yeah. So I I enjoyed the film. I don't say it was the best film I've seen all year, but I definitely delivered on the experience, which is what you want. It's a blockbuster popcorn flick that if you want to switch your brain off for 2 hours, then this film can definitely give it to you. So signing off from this review, it's definitely a thumbs up review for Tron Ares. Go out and watch it if you want some good fun and some good times, and we'll catch you in the next one. Have a great one, and above all else, may the Force be with you.